is a dark winter night. The wolves are howling with the wind, and the trees are grabbing on the pedestrians passing by. I look by my window as cars pass by, and flakes of snow land slowly on the windowsill. Suddenly, a buzzing comes from my phone. I check who texted me. It says unknown messenger. The message says, "I'm at your door, I have a surprise for you, it's a secret." I walk slowly to my door. An unsettling coldness radiates through the air, making my hair stand on its ends. Carefully, I open the door. Nothing. I receive another message. "Thanks, it's on your table." Followed by a selfie of a silhouetted figure at my table. The turn around and the door slams behind me. Every step now brings an unsettling creak. Creak, creak, creak. Uncertainty and nervousness hits me. My brain screams for help but is betrayed by my body, continuing to put one foot in front of the other. I reach my dining table. Yet again, nothing. Another message. Surprise. Followed by a selfie of me and a horrific creature behind me. Eyes protruding, slits for a nose, hair as black as the night sky and a smile, brutally cut by a knife. Its head was upturned and bent at wrong angles. It had spindly arms and tattered clothing. I turn around. A body. Drenched in blood. Slit right through the middle, guts spilling out. A voice sounds through my head, a hoarse voice, one of sandpaper and the tortured souls of poor mortals. You. Its hands gripped me with a grip of steel. Yow. It grabbed my face and my friend Gerard was the son of one of our college administrators. The administrator took care of most of our football team's proceedings. Gerard told me about the team needing someone to watch the field cameras from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. as the game would be at 9 a.m. I took him up on the offer, as it paid very well. I talked to the administrator and he accepted. I arrived at the field at 1 a.m. All I had to do was watch the security cameras from the commentator's room. I wasn't the type of person to fall asleep easily, so I thought this would be a cinch. I made sure to bring everything that would keep me alive. Through the first hour I just watched Netflix and texted some friends, occasionally looking up at the screen. Gerard texted me asking how the job was going, and I told him I was good. I was getting tired so I drank some coffee. I looked up to the cameras again. I saw something strange on the bottom left camera screen. There was a light in the distance in on the spectator seats. My heart started racing. As I'm sure no one was supposed to be here. I checked other camera screens to see if I could pinpoint where this person was. The light appeared on multiple other screens. I found one where it wasn't visible. I could faintly make out the silhouette of a person shining a flashlight. The lights in the commentator's room was on, so I was practically asking to be seen. I didn't take my eyes off the cameras, as the person didn't seem to be moving. I moved my eyes to another camera screen and looked back to see the bright light wasn't there anymore. I grabbed my phone and dialed 911, almost dropping my phone as I did. What I did next was extremely stupid as I think about now, but I anxious at the time. I got up and unlocked the door to my room to see if I could spot the intruder. I heard slow footsteps crunching the short stubby grass of the field. It sounded like it was pretty far away. The person had made it off the seats to the field. I ran back into my room and made sure the doors were locked. I tried looking at the cameras, but they were too dark to see anything. I waited for felt like hours, until I heard a knock on the door to the right of me. I immediately backed up to the other door. The person was messing with the lock. Without taking a second thought I ran out the other door to the left exit. I tripped and stumbled over the seats and fell down to the grassy field. I looked back making sure I wasn't followed. There was the silhouette of what looked to be a man at the window to the room I stayed in. I bolted out the exit, not catching my breath until I was on school grounds. I saw sirens and 2 police cars pull up. I approached the officers like a maniac telling them everything. They went and searched the stadium, but the intruder had already taken off. A few minutes later the cops came out with my belongings and informed me that a trail of blood had been left along with pieces of clothing. The cops assumed that this person was carrying someone in a bag, which explained why they moved so slowly. A few days later I discovered a piece of paper in my backpack. The backpack I left behind in the stadium. It read, "Don't be so hasty next time." I still think about the incident today and I haven't forgotten it. As of late I have been needing a lot of money. I dropped out of college and have a part-time job at the local subway that doesn't grant me enough money to build a future, but that's when I saw an ad board at my local subway. Hiring night guards at the cemetery only for people who are very firm. I took the last part as a bluff and immediately signed up as the paycheck was around $800 per night. The ad said to come to the cemetery once you've signed up the next night, so I got ready for the next day. 10:30 p.m. This is the beginning of my shift. The ends at 8:30 a.m. I sat myself down at the booth that it looked like to be where I'd be staying for the night. I shut the door and thought to myself, this is quick money, should be nothing at all. That's when I saw a sheet of paper at the side. There were a set of rules, around 10 in total.
Hello, welcome to the job. I'd like to be transparent and say that if you cannot handle stressful situations or think at the right time, it's already too late.
I thought to myself, this person must be a bit crazy, it's only a job at the cemetery. I continued to read.
Rule number 1, start off by checking all the cameras. We built this booth so you're protected and placed hidden cameras so you can prepare for what's coming. Rule number 2, if you see a hunched over and tall man with a black beanie trying to open the gate, grab the gun that we have provided in one of the drawers and shoot him. Rule number 3, after the hunched over man is gone, your sole focus is to rerun through the cameras at least 5 times every 10 minutes. Continue this when you are safe. Rule number 4, if you happen to hear groaning and footsteps around the sides of the booth, do not look, crawl under the desk if needed. Rule number 5, it should be around 1 am now behind you. You should hear distant shoveling and dirt crushing. Under no circumstances do you check the cameras or even close your eyes. However, if you do, your only option is to run if you even want to have a chance at being alive. Rule number 6, 2:30 a.m. you will start to hear the groaning again, but much louder. This is because a gray man devoid from life will be right behind you. He might occasionally pat you and make gestures for you to turn around in your peripheral vision, but you should not turn around ever. Doing that will result in an instant painful death. We would know. Rule number 7, a woman will approach you at the booth at around 3:10 am. She will ask you a multitude of questions. Some are related to her dead loved ones, some are general, yet disturbing facts about the human body. It's all different, depending on the person. Fail any question, and she will blankly stare at you for around 2 minutes. Your best bet is to hide in one of the graves before time runs out and hope she won't find you. Rule number 8, it'll be about 4:30 a.m. now. Mostly everything is clear now. Before you reassure yourself that nothing is wrong, I'm here to inform you that this is the hardest part yet. However, before that, hastily check all the cameras. If you see a man with a black tuxedo and fedora, open the window for the booth and shout the words, "You are forbidden from entering this place." If you see a woman with a red handbag, gesture her to come closer and ask her what she is doing here at this time. She'll tell you that she wants you to bury the ashes of her husband. This is the only time you are allowed to enter the graveyard, but before that you must take your shovel. You will have 5 minutes to find her husband's grave. For some reason the grave is always in different spots, but we have found common names for her husband, being the 3 names: Manuel, Dan, and Ryan. After you bury the ashes, tell her it's completed and she will walk away. Rule number 9, nothing will happen for around 3 hours. In this next hour, all you have to do is look through the cameras, rerun through them 10 times. If you see anything unusual, it means you have failed, and your death will happen at approximately 8 a.m. Rule number 10, now you must return all the equipment, leave the booth, and never turn around until you reach a freeway.
I just brushed it aside and browsed Reddit, that is until I saw the hunched over man.